Yeah, so I made it through baby Jesus' birthday. I hope everybody else did as well. And I decided to get back into this car. And we've got problems. Let me show you. This right here is one of two things. It's either moonshine or it's liquefied dinosaur. I don't remember. Either I drank the moonshine or I drank the liquefied dinosaur. Either way, I'm told that these things need liquefied dinosaur to work. And I have a dinosaur right there. It's not liquefied though. So, now, liquefied dinosaur comes in different vintages, okay? So there's a 85 vintage, there's an 87 vintage, there's even an 83 and an 84, there's a 93, there's a 100. And don't be confused about which vintage is the best. The best vintage is the higher the number. So the younger the liquefied dinosaur, the better the vintage. Now there's a lot of people online that will tell you, well, it doesn't make any difference. You know, the vintage makes no difference. You can get an 85 or 87 or 89, and it doesn't make any difference. This is what my suggestion to all of you is. Put 87 vintage liquefied dinosaur into your car. Put 100 vintage dinosaur into your car. And then tell me what you notice. If you don't notice any difference, then you probably need to get rid of your car. Just saying. So, with that, let me show you what's going on. All right, so to bring you back up to speed. Some of you already know what this car is and what's going on with it. Others you may not know. This car, we've done quite a bit of work on the top end, and got all this fancy stuff in here. But the problem is that well, that's not good. Open this here, okay? This little bike inflator, tire inflator thing. Right here, right? And you push on this little thing. Liquefied dinosaur is supposed to come out of this bike tire thing. And it doesn't. So that means that there's a liquefied dinosaur tank in this car. And it has a system that delivers the dinosaur up here, and that's not working. Now, delivering dinosaur to your horse maker is, they make it out to be more complicated than it needs to be. With this car, there's a lot of different things that could be the problem. One of them is that the dinosaur pump in the tank doesn't work, which that's my suspicion. This car has, inside here, what's called a CCRM, a cute, cuddly romance machine. Now, these systems were originally designed for Japanese sex robots, but they were too aggressive.
Oh, what a stud! I can't get enough of you, jocks. Let me tie you to the bed, baby.
and started spewing fluids everywhere. So they gave them to really cheap to Ford, who used them in their cars. So the CCRM can be a problem, and it's tucked in underneath here. Now, we're gonna, you can hear this go, it goes like that. That tells you your Cute Cuddly Romance machine is working, but you hear no bumblebee sound, or maybe a hornet stuck in a drawer. You should hear that when you just turn the key forward. We don't hear that here. So that tells me it's the dinosaur pump in the tank that's not giving us fuel. So what do we need to do to fix that? Well, we need to drop the dinosaur juice tank, take out the dinosaur pump, and put a new dinosaur pump in, which we just so happen to have. Oh, it's like one of those Russian egg things, Russian doll things. It's a box inside of a box. All right. I bought this on the Einstein machine, and yeah, this is a dinosaur pump thing. Okay, replacement instructions. Okay. So, this is a BBK, #1 source in FE performance. Okay, BBK stands for Big Booty Karen. I think the problem was this angry cable here, that's always in a bad mood, showed its true colors. Because it wasn't like, this was all tightened down and it was still floating around in here. And so this, I think, was arcing, and I think it caused the dinosaur pump to go bad. Now for the pain in the ass. I have to get underneath this car and drop the dinosaur tank, which I think has 2 gallons of dinosaur juice in it. And I think 2 gallons is like 12 pounds. I think it's 6 pounds a gallon. For those of you geniuses out there, tell me I'm off. Because if I'm off, then it's going to suck. Well, we're going to walk through how to swap out a dinosaur pump on one of these wild horse cars. Because these wild horse cars, as well as many others, except for those golf cart things, they want the Jesus juice. These want dinosaur juice. So we gotta fix this so that we can put this in there and make it go with loud noises. So let's get started. All right, so from what I'm told, dinosaur juice is very hot. No, flammable. That's the word, flammable, meaning it makes flames. Now, there's a myth that dinosaur juice in its liquid state is flammable. It's not. It's the vapors that come off of dinosaur juice that catch on fire. Anytime I deal with fire or dinosaur juice, I always want to take this Thor cube out, because this in concert with vaporized dinosaur juice, it does not end well. And there's plenty of videos online of people dancing with the dinosaur juice flames. And you don't want that, because whether you think or not, everybody looks better with eyebrows. So, let me disconnect this, and then we're going to start underneath the car, which I'm not looking forward to. All right, so I got my instructions here of everything I need to do. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a mechanic. The first step, it says to disconnect the battery, which makes sense, right? Thor cubes make sparks and stuff. I don't know how they work, but they make with lightning, and lightning and vaporized dinosaur juice don't mix. So I've disconnected both terminals. It's probably overkill, but there's, I don't know, it could be famous last words that it's overkill, when I should have taken the battery out. And this one's got an assault handle on it. And these are weapons, people. You can hurt somebody with this thing. You just grab a hold of this assault handle, hit them upside the head with it, they're not coming back. I have to remove the dinosaur filter. So there's a juice filter under there that you have to take out and then replace a new one. And this is a K&N Performance PF 2300. It's got a lot of weird languages on it, and that makes it special, I guess. I don't know what K&N stands for. High strength steel construction, long life capacity, high efficiency, OEM requirements, meets or exceeds OEM requirements for gasoline engines. So gasoline is just another word. I think it's Latin for dinosaur juice. We'll have to disconnect a bunch of hoses and harnesses and electrical plastic pieces, and there's bolts and straps apparently, and all manner of thing underneath the car, which, as you can tell, I don't want to do. But if I don't do it, nobody else will. That's one thing I've learned, people, is no one is coming to fix your car. No one is. I've had cars sit here for months, and no one is coming to fix them. And I remember the story with the guy with the shoes. They made shoes. He's making Adidas and Reeboks and Nikes and stuff. And he went to bed and shoes were made in the morning. That doesn't happen with these. I've tried it. I've left it even out, accessible to those shoe ferries. There are no car ferries. There's just shoe ferries, apparently.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
I'm coming right now.
Thank you. This is the dinosaur filter I took out of the car. Flow that way. Made in Taiwan. There does not appear to be a part number on this. And I feel like this has been in the car for more than 80,000 miles. So, we're going to put this in. Flow this way. This way. It's a significant difference between the two of them. Especially when you think about diameter, right? So, I think this was $12. So, maybe this was $4 or $5, but what are we talking about, right? A cup of coffee? Come on. Get the right parts for your car, people. We still got to get the tank out, and I have dinosaur juice all over the garage floor, so I got to clean that mess up, but this will be like the last thing we do. Okay, so there's a evap line there that has to be disconnected. There's an electrical connector that needs to be disconnected here. Right here is another connection that needs to be removed. There's a bolt there that I think is a 13 millimeter. There's a bolt here that's a 13 millimeter, and there's a bolt there. finally. What a pain in the ass. So drop the tank. The filler neck is a pain. It does not want to release. And what I found is that if you lift up that end, if that end gets too low, it won't come out. So lift up this end and then try to slide it, keep tugging on it, and eventually this will come out. The other thing is that this had closer to 4 gallons, I think, than 2 gallons in it. So, and I tried to drain it first. You know, there's multiple ways of draining a fuel tank. Burnouts is the most fun. But I tried to use a little siphon thing, and it just, you know, I couldn't get the thing to get in there far enough. You know, it's, like I said, it's not deep enough. It's the story of my life. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clean this up, because this is, again, dirty, as you can see by looking at it. This is what we're after right here. So we're going to clean all this up first, and all I'm going to use, you can, you know, hose this down with some air, just blow on it, or you know, people have different ideas of how to clean this, but I think everybody would agree you want to clean this before you take your dinosaur thing out, dinosaur pump. So what I'm doing is just using this brush to get all of this stuff off of here. It's like vacuuming, but before there were vacuum cleaners, you know, and just, you know, use the brush and swing it around fancy crazy like, and then you get all this contaminants off there. Okay, this one's got an X on it. I don't know why. The sound deadening's still in relatively good shape. When I did the 89, I didn't have to do any of this because I got a new tank. Same thing when we do the 93. Got a new tank, so we just plant it in your flower garden like we did with the 89, and then it'll make new dino juice. Actually, the 89's never made any, but if there's still dino juice in here, I spent way too much money on this fancy dino juice holder thing. I think this is supposed to be a VP Racing. So the minute you put dino juice into this container, it turns into racing. At least that's what I think. Does anybody know what VP stands for? There's some words I can think of V and P, but I'm not going to say those online.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
All right, so got this little thing here, and so we're going to dump this into here. Okay. Nope, that is one of my pants. Okay, so there's 6 8mm bolts. And then you kind of have to pry this thing up, okay? And then your dyno pump's right there. There's a tab right there. Right there, okay? And there's a tab right here. And I think what you got to do is squeeze those together and then pull it up and out. I don't know. We're going to try it and see what happens. Yeah. All right, that's out. Okay, we're done. So this is the old dyno pump right here, okay? And I have no reason to believe that this is not the factory one. I haven't seen anything on it yet that says Ford, but I haven't really looked either. But I have no reason to believe that this is not the factory one. So, to get this out, I ended up disconnecting this cable right here. And this whole unit comes out. And the only thing you need off of this is this fuel line right here. So you get your tool out. And you put it here. Oops, I put it on backwards. Don't do what I do. I'm not a mechanic. There it comes off. Jeez. Yeah. So it took about, an hour to get this off. I didn't bleed in the process.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody!
So obviously I didn't try hard enough. Maybe if I would have bled, I could have got it done in 15 minutes. So that's the lesson of the day, people, is if you want things done quickly, bleed first. Now, as you can see, I haven't spilled any fuel on the ground, on my table here, or on my clothes. I'm being very conscientious about the dyno juice. Part of the reason why I make videos, guys, is because when I am older and I don't remember anything, I can go back and watch myself do stuff. There's a part number in here. 1R3 UAC. So it does come up with a fuel pump when you type this in. Yeah, there it is, right there. So this is a Ford fuel pump. So originally, I'm going to say 98% that this is the original fuel. Okay, so here's the new one, and this is again the Big Booty Karen one. There's a hole here. Everybody see that? I don't know what the hole's for. This is the language I speak. And here's where, okay, we're still on removing the existing fuel pump. We don't install, this is install right here. Okay, install is right here. And this is the only picture they give you. It's not even, you could have taken some crayons out and colored this for me. And then there's a little blurb over here. And then this is all the troubleshooting they've got. So it doesn't tell you, what is this for? What is this for? What are these for? What is this for? I mean, I can make assumptions. Like, I would imagine this dumps fuel back into the tank if there's fuel in this line. Because that's the pump in there. See, this is the pump here. This is the float, and it tells you how much dyno juice you got. So that plastic piece at the bottom, I think, is where fuel comes in, and then it gets filtered inside here, and then pulls through this hose out the top. That's what I think happens. So all we need is this connection is to the factory one, and this one's to the factory one. So all we need to do is connect this fuel line to the top of this, drop this into the tank, and I think we're good. Okay, so got it back in. It is important that you put this back in the same orientation as the one you took out. So, like the floater thing is on this side, and then this fuel line needs to come out this direction. Electrical pieces need to go out this way. There's torque specs for this. I think it's 89 Newton meters. I don't know. It's something. Squeeze it until it doesn't go any further. And then you reconnect this fuel line, and it's got this metal clip like we talked about. I don't know why you need this, considering it took me an hour to get this thing disconnected. So you have this connection here, and then you have that one over there that's going to be connected in the back in front of the bumper. So now we need to get this back into the car, which I don't want to do. So if there's any volunteers, I'm open to it. This sits right here, and they tell you that you should replace these, and it's got a part number on it. This one doesn't feel like it's in bad shape. I mean, maybe if I clean it up a little bit. I mean, it's still soft, right? There's no cracks in it. So I think what I'm going to do is just clean this up and save myself the $16. So, but yeah, if you inspect yours and it's got cracks and stuff in it, then yeah, probably spend the $16 and replace it. All right, so all we got left is getting in a few bolts, and we've got a couple clips we got to put in, and then we're gonna put some dyno juice back in it and see if we can make this trombone make some music. So I got this clip in, and there's another one on the other side. All right, so now I gotta get the filter in. Does anybody remember how this goes? Because I don't. All right, I got this in here super fast. It took me like 89 seconds. And again, the more violence you use, the more blood you bleed. the faster you can fix your car. Over here, we had this line, which is just plastic into this rubber. And then we had this line right here, which I put that black clip on. Reconnected this, which I think was an 8mm for the filler neck. This line is connected, and we talked about the other one back there. So everything's where it needs to be. And obviously you can see I cleaned this up with some of that dirt shield from Amsoil. What is that stuff? Something they do in politics. Mudslinger, yeah. That one, mudslinger all over this, so hopefully it won't get dirty. But we'll see. And I don't know, you guys tell me. Do you think we're leaking on that right there? I'm feeling like that bolt's got a little something going on right there. But I don't know, maybe. Got a few other ones in here too that seem to have dark spots. There's one up there too. But nothing in the driveway or in the garage, so I'm not gonna worry about it now. And the underneath this car is actually really clean. You guys can kind of see the exhaust setup that they did over at Performance Muffler. So they got this side exit exhaust where it's coming out of the H pipe, and then they've just got it slanted back here, installed some new hangers. All right, so I think we're good. The only thing that's left is we got to get gas in the tank, connect the battery, prime the system, make sure there's no leaks, and then let's fire this thing up. I heard something. All right, nothing leaking, but then again, there's not a lot of gasoline in this tank, so let's put some gasoline in. So let's prime it again, and then we'll start it. Okay, so it's been a couple days, and I've driven this car back and forth to work, around town, no issues. Got the tune back on it, and it's running perfectly. Overall, I'm going to call this fuel pump replacement a success. Didn't really run into a lot of issues. And I've done these before, I've had issues, like when Spark and I changed the fuel pump on the Z28, and it was just a pain in the ass. It's a story for another time. But this one and the 89 were relatively simple. The tank went right back in, no problems. The only issue that I really had was getting that filler neck out. So you're just going to have to wrestle with that part. So overall, happy with it. Total amount of time that I spent doing this was about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. If you have two people, maybe you could get it done in an hour and a half. If you're a mechanic, it probably takes you about 20 minutes to do it. But overall, really pleased with the outcome. And again, that was a BBK fuel pump, 300 liters per hour. I think it was around $400 or $500, something like that. And I bought it intentionally because as we upgrade this powerhouse, we're going to need more fuel for that engine. So that's going to call it for this video. Thanks for checking in, guys. I hope this video was helpful. We look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care.